set out to make the mother of all Spider-Man games with Ultimate Spider-Man. A big part of their goal is to include as many cameo appearances as possible. The list of heroes and villains who will appear in their game is awe-inspiring.
Of all the Spider-Man games that have come out, this is going to be the largest slate of supervillains in any of the previous Activision Spider-Man games.
We were going to grab everything we could at Marvel and throw it into this game. We've got Johnny Storm. We have got just this pile of Marvel heroes in our game.
We're introduced to tons of characters in the Ultimate Marvel Universe. Some we've already met before, some we've never seen in the Ultimate book before, that people have actually been dying for, like Ultimate Beetle and Ultimate Silver Sable is going to be a big one. But plus tons of cameos. You got Nick Fury's in it, Mary Jane's in it.
The Ultimate, franchise opens up a new take on all these bad guys. The Ultimate Rhino looks very different from Rhino from the classic series. These are characters you've heard about over the years in the Marvel universe, but you're seeing them kind of again and new for the first time, which is pretty cool.
The biggest challenge is to make sure that everybody is their own special kind of unique thing. Rhino is 3 stories tall and charging through Queens, knocking down buildings, throwing cars at Spider-Man during their boss fight. Then when you fight Green Goblin, you're chasing him through the streets of New York again, but their fight ends up crashing through the roof. And they end up fighting in the Grand Hall there. And, it's fireballs everywhere and Spider-Man fighting the Green Goblin.
We have more interactive superheroes and supervillains than any previous Spider-Man game.
One of the things that's really nice about the Ultimate Spider-Man brand is that it really centers a lot around Peter and his life. So we bring those characters to life in the game as well. So we're really able to kind of dig deeper into Peter and his interactions with the people around him.
Heroes and villains aren't all that's packed into Ultimate Spider-Man.
What we really want to do is bring you Spider-Man's New York. Means you get to go to all of the landmarks that Spider-Man could go to. You get to go to Queensboro Bridge, where Green Goblin nearly killed Mary Jane.
We actually sent a couple of our artists to New York during pre-production to go and photograph all over New York. We photographed textures and just little things like manhole covers, signs going into like Little Italy and Chinatown, and taking pictures to get those flavors.
Queens is where Peter lives with his Aunt May. It's where he goes to high school. So it was just kind of the logical step to take for us to expand this environment to include Queens. It just gives the player the freedom to kind of go anywhere they want in this city and be that heroic Spider-Man character.
As the September 2005 release date for Ultimate Spider-Man draws near, development begins to wrap up. The people at Treyarch and Activision look back at what they've accomplished and are confident that the game represents their best efforts.
Mostly, I'm really excited about the story we get to tell and the events that we get to do and the fact that we actually fit into the comic book continuity. For this little brief moment in time, I actually get to touch Peter Parker's life and do something to it is really the coolest part of this project for me.
Stuff that we're doing in this is going to be carried on. Bendis is going to carry those storylines in the comic book, and he's going to be making sure that stuff that's happening in the comics are at least tangentially related to what's going on in the game.
It's always a challenge to take what you start out with ideas and designs and to actually make them come to life in a game. And that's really a testament to the talent that we have over here at Treyarch.
This was one of the best experiences I've ever had. And there's so many people involved. When we create the comic book, it's just a handful of people, whereas there's so many developers and special effects guys that I was just kind of bracing myself for this thing to kind of lose its edge, and it never ever did. And it was a really awesome experience.
Marvel is so lucky to have Activision doing these games. I was really sucked into the world of Spider-Man while I was watching that game. It's unbelievable. I think that these video games are just about the greatest kind of entertainment you could find anywhere.